Dear students, welcome to the lecture on machine learning. In last session, we discussed about introduction to machine learning. At the time, I explained what is machine learning, who introduced machine learning, and the differences between conventional programming and machine learning. And finally, I explained about importance and its applications of machine learning. These are the contents yesterday we discussed. Now, I would like to explain about ingredients of machine learning. Machine learning having three ingredients. The first ingredient is tasks. Second one is models. And the third one is features. Machine learning is concerned with using the right features to build the right models that achieves the right tasks. If our features are good, we will get the right model. And to get the right model, we need to choose right task. Means what kind of task we are going to perform, we should be clear about that. Means there are variety of tasks. The task may be classification, the task may be cluster analysis, the task may be regression, the task may be any kind of it may be a multi-class classification, etc. And by using right features, features means we may take a student data set. Student data set having features like student average percentage, student backlogs, student mobile number, student email ID, etc. All these are what different features of the student object. Coming to the task, machine learning task is the type of prediction or inference being made based on the problem or question that is being asked and the available data. See, there are variety of machine learning tasks. I already explained. It may be a binary classification, it may be a multi-class classification, regression, clustering, and association rules. See, these are a few examples for task. What kind of task we want to perform on the given dataset features? We must get clarity before going to construct a model on the task. See, as a developer, we need to concentrate on features of the data set and what kind of task we need to perform on the data set features. Observe this example here. Classification task assign data categories and the clustering task groups the data according to similarity. Suppose if you want to perform a clustering is happened based on the object similarity. To find the object similarity, we are going to use different distance calculating methods like Manhattan distance method, Euclidean distance method, Minkowski distance method, Pearson correlation coefficient. There are variety of distance calculating methods we are using to find the clusters. Similarly, for classification, we may use decision trees. I will explain each and every task in the coming sessions. This is a simple example classification. Here, this diagram shows email classification. Here, email is classified into two groups. One is a spam group and another one is a non-spam group. Whenever the email entered into inbox, automatically the algorithm, the machine learning algorithm divides it. Whether the getting email is spam email or non-spam email. If it is a non-spam email, the mail is available in the inbox. Otherwise, the mail sent to the spam folder. This is what simple classification. In here, only two classes are available. One is spam class and another one is non-spam class. This type of classification is called as binary classification. See, classification is a process of categorizing a given set of data into classes. Here, given set of data is emails, which are received by the person. It can be performed on both structured or unstructured data. Here, we are considering email maybe in the form of structure. The process starts with predicting the class of given data points. That this classification is happened based on some features which are in the mail. Suppose the mail may contain lottery. Immediately that mail may be moved to spam folder. Why? Because sometimes we may get some unnecessary mails. You will get these much billion dollars lottery, like that. Here lottery is the word. By using the word lottery, we are going to filter the data, filter the mails, whether the mail is spam mail or not spam mail. Here spam may be, spam and non-spam are the target class labels, right? See here, one example is, I mentioned one example. This example belongs to binary classification. In binary classification, here we constructed two classes. One is a heart disease class and another one is doesn't have heart disease class. Total two classes are constructed based on the data, patient data. We are going to divide the patient information into classes. Suppose patient data set is available based on the patient symptoms. We are going to divide the patient data patients into two groups. One is heart disease having patients group or not having heart disease patient group. Simply, not only a patient data, we may take common, human data. Human data may contain health history of the human. Based on the health history also, we may arrange the data into heart disease group or doesn't have heart disease class, right? The classifier in this case needs to train the data to understand how to give the given input variables are related to the class. And once the classifier is trained accurately, it can be used to detect whether the heart disease is there or not for the particular patient. See, based on the symptoms or based on the history, health history of the patient, we're going to find whether the patient having heart disease or not. Usually, heart disease is identified by using ECG, echo, treadmill test. These are the various tests. Based on the test related values, we may identify the person having heart disease or not. Here, useful features are ECG report, echo report, etc. Based on these report values, we are going to filter the patient data into two classes. This is one example. Here I would like to give one more example. The example belongs to student. Suppose I would like to classify student data, suppose 4th BTech CSE student data into two groups. One is CST group and another one is non-CST group. To arrange data into these two groups, here groups means classes. Here label is, one class label is CST, campus specific training, and another class label is non-CST, non-campus specific training group. To arrange the students into these two groups, here we need to place constraints. Usually constraints are placed on the features of the data set. Here, what kind of features I'm going to collect? One of the feature is aggregate percentage of the student, and another feature is backlogs information, means number of backlogs. Here we may use the first constraint. The constraint is aggregate percentage. The student aggregate is greater than 65. The student is arranged into CST group. If student average is less than 65, the student is arranged into non-CST group. We may do classification like this. This classification is called binary classification. See, here only two classes are existed. One is a CST group and another one is non-CST group. This classification is done by using a feature of the student data set. The feature is what? Aggregate percentage. Suppose training and placement officer may instruct the department training placement associate, Mr. Placement Associate, for next time you need to arrange CST group and non-CST group based on the student backlogs. At that time, training placement associate construct classes, CST class and non-CST class, by using number of backlogs. Who people are having zero backlogs, those students are arranged into CST group. Who people are having backlogs, means greater than 1, greater than 0, the students are arranged into non-CST group. This is another example for binary classification. What are the which terminology we are going to use in machine learning regarding classification? Here we are using classifier. Here classifier represents the algorithm which is used to train our data set. Next, classification model. Here classification model is generated by the classifier. Initially we are giving training data. The training data is used to train the classifier, means classifying, algorithm. That algorithm will generate the model, will create the model. The created model is called as classification model. By using the classification model, we are going to predict the results. Right. Here features. A feature is an individual measurable property of the phenomena being observed. I already told you feature. Here features, student feature means student number, student name, student aggregate percentage, student backlogs, and student email ID, student mobile number. All these are different features of the student. Out of all these features, which features are relevant to your task? You need to identify such kind of features. That one is done by using feature engineering. Feature engineering is one of the topic which is used to find the useful features to the task. And the next terminology is binary classification. In binary classification, we had only two labels, means two classes. Only two classes are available, means only two leaf nodes are available according to binary tree. Right? here we are using only one feature. Based on that feature only, the classification was happened, right? Whereas in multi-class classification, more than two classes are existed. More than two classes are existed. The classes may be, number of leaf nodes may be 3 or 4 or 5. I will explain what is binary tree and how to construct binary tree, means a binary classification, how to how to do binary classification, how to do multi-class classification. I will explain that concept. And multi-label classification is there. Initialize, train the classifier, means here we are using training data set to train the classifier. Predict the target. Predict the target means outcome. How our classifier generates a classification model. By using that classification model, the target or results are predicted. And finally, we are evaluating the classification classification model. If classification, whether the classification model is correctly classifying the classes, correctly predicting the result or not, that one is evaluated by using various evaluation techniques. By using those evaluation techniques, we are going to identify the error rate and accuracy of the classifier. See, one more slide on binary classification. Binary classification having only two classes, a supervised machine learning task that is used to, here binary classification is a supervised machine learning task, means here we are using labels. Whenever you are using label to predict something, that is what supervised learning. If you are not using label to predict something, that is what unsupervised learning. See, in binary classification, we are using class labels, means binary classification is a supervised learning. In last example, I mean what I provided, that is a CST class and non-CST class. Here CST is the class label, non-CST is also a class label. A supervised machine learning task that is used to predict which of two classes an instance data belongs to. That is what binary classification. See, here data set is there. Data set, each row is treated as one instance, means suppose student data set is there. Student data set having columns like student number, student name, student average marks, student backlog, student mail ID, student mobile number, etc. And each row contains what? A particular student data. Student number may be 501, student name may be ABC, student aggregate may be 80%, student number of backlogs 0, student mobile number some 988 something, and student email ID some abc@gmail.com. Right? This is what one instance. Like this, number of instances are existed in the student database. By using these instances, our classifier identifies this, whether this instance belongs to CST class or non-CST class. That is what explained here. See, here we are using labels. In binary classification, we are using classifier algorithm. The classifier algorithm is going to classify the given data. Right. Examples for classification is whether the patient has certain disease or not, or whether the email is a spam mail or not. These are the examples, and whether the student belongs to CST or non-CST. Also one of the examples. Whereas in multi-class classification, we are using more than two classes. In the earlier case, we had only two classes. The classes are whether the patient having disease or not. Disease is one class, not disease is another class. Here for emails, spam is one class, non-spam is another class. For CST is one student, CST is one class, and non-CST is another class. Here for each classification we are constructing two classes. That is called binary classification. In multi-class classification, more than two classes are existed. If you observe this example here, positive is one class, neutral is one class, and negative is one class. See, what about the result? The result may be positive or negative or neutral. And there are some other multi-class classifier examples. Observe this. Understand the movie reviews as that movie review may be positive or negative and neutral also. Here, more than two classes are possible for movie reviews. Similarly, for hotel reviews also, location based, price based, climb lines based, etc. And for fruits also, we may categorize orange, apple, pears, etc. In multi-class classification, more than two classes are existed. This diagram shows a simple binary classification and multi-class classification. Observe this diagram. Here x1 is a x coordinate and x2 is a y coordinate. Here this is a geometric representation. In geometric representation we are using coordinates to represent the instances. Here this line is what? Separation line. This line separates here two classes are there. This blue color circle represents objects, and same color means what? Same image represents same class. All these objects belongs to same class. Blue color circles belong to same class, and red color into marks X marks belongs to the same class. Here only two classes are existed, right? One is a blue color circle class and another one is red color into crosses. And coming to the multi-class classification, here three classes are existed: blue color rectangle squares and triangles, green color triangles. Right. So this diagram clearly shows the difference between binary classification and multi-class classification. In binary classification, we are using only one separation line. Whereas in multi-class classification, if number of classes are increased, more number of separation lines are existed. See here how many separation lines are existed. For each class, one separation line is existed, right? For blue class, this is separation line. For green class, this is separation line. For red class, this is separation line. And how to represent the structure of the data? To represent the structure, usually we are using matrix representation. Here 0 1 0 1 0 0 2 2 2, all these are representing latent variables or hidden variables. Usual representation for the machine learning models data is in the form of matrix. I will explain this concept in the next sessions. And the next topic is evaluating performance on a task. To evaluate the performance on a task, here the given data set is divided into two parts. Initially, I already told to you. One part is called as training set. This training set is used on the algorithm. Here algorithm means a classifier, and classifier generates or constructs a model to evaluate the performance of the constructed model. We are going to use test data set. Once again, I'm repeating. Initially, the given data set is divided into two parts. One is training data and another one is test data. I will explain how to divide the data set into two parts. There are a variety of methods to divide the data set into training set and test set. The training set is given as input to the, or training set is used to train the classifier. The classifier means our algorithm. Our algorithm related to, should be related to the task which what we are going to perform. The task, the algorithm may related to our task. Suppose classification, the algorithm may be decision tree. The algorithm may be Bayesian classification. The algorithm may relate to some classification technique. Suppose our task belongs to cluster, we may use a k-means algorithm, k-medoid algorithm, Clara algorithm, Palm algorithm, Sting algorithm, whatever it may be. Our algorithm should be related to our task. Our algorithm is treated as classifier, right? See, yes. Observe this slide. Suppose we want to find out how well our newly trained spam filter does. Means here we constructed a spam filter to separate getting emails into two classes. One is a spam class and another one is non-spam class. One thing we can do is counter the number of correctly classified emails. Here we need to consider both spam mails and ham mails, and divide that by total number of examples to get a proportion which is called as accuracy of the classifier. See how to evaluate the performance of the task. To evaluate the performance of the task, first we need to find the accuracy of the classifier. How to find the accuracy of the classifier? How correctly our model predict the results, means how correctly our constructed spam filter algorithm or spam filter model predict the spam mails and ham mails. Means how many correct spams are correctly identified by total number of mails, then we will get accuracy, right? Like this we are going to calculate accuracy. There are a variety of accuracy calculating methods. I will explain, right, in the coming sessions. So accuracy means how correctly our constructed model predict the result. Suppose in last class I explained student example. While filtering CST student and non-CST student, I used one feature, that is what, aggregate percentage of the student. So after applying our model on new data set, the classification will done for CST and non-CST. How correctly the classification happened, that is important. So we need to compare the predicted results with original values. We are predicting some results by using our classification model. The predicted result should be compared with the original result. After comparison, we'll get some value that if there is no difference between the predicted results and original results, there is no error. If there is no error, 100% accuracy we will get. Is there any error? Is there any error? The accuracy of the classification model is reduced. Right. A better idea would be to use only 90% of the data for training and remaining 10% as test set. Right? I already told to you that the given data set is divided into training data set and test data set. The better idea is divide 90% data for training and 10% data for testing. If overfitting occurs, the test data set performance will be considerably lower than the training set. Right? Means when compared to the 90% data, I already told you better option is what? 90% data should be considered for training and 10% data for testing. Whenever the overfit occurs, the test data performance will be considerably lower than training set performance. Right. Train and test split is therefore repeated in the process called cross validation. There is a technique called k-fold cross validation. Here k means that is purely depending on the user. The k may be 10, the k may be 5, the k may be 20. If number of folds are increased, see, number of times the data set is divided. How many number of folds are existed, those many number of times the data set will be split. Right? Suppose there are 4 folds, means k value is 4 number of folds are existed, and randomly the given data will be taken, right? Taken for training and testing. Observe this one. We randomly divide the data into 10 parts. Suppose the k value is 10 and use 9 parts for training and 1 part for testing. See, we are not following any order to collect the data for training and testing. Randomly we are taking, right? Suppose the k value is 10, 10 number of parts are divided, 10 number of folds are existed, those many number of parts are taken for training and testing. And finally, we're considering average test set performance, right? At the end, we compute the average test set performance. Got the point? We're taking 10 test cases average values, then we're considering the final value. Instead of doing once, we're doing k times. For each time we're getting value, these values are averaged, then we will get the final value. This is the best practice. In generally, if number of folds are increased, the performance or system accuracy will be identified correctly, right? And then simply we're avoiding the overfitting problem also. This is one of the technique to avoid the overfitting problem. That is what? Cross validation. Actual name is k-fold cross validation. For splitting training and test data sets, we are using a procedure called as cross validation. I will explain models concept in the coming session. This is also one of the important ingredient in machine learning. Thank you for watching this video. I will share assessment link to you. All of you must do the assessment test.